Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Autumn Embers and today's video is in collaboration with Lexi4Gaming. So a couple of weeks ago she approached me on Instagram asking me if I would like to do a collab video with her, and normally when I see collabs being taking place and just sort of sorting things out, normally I see that on Twitter, so I was a little bit taken back by it. It's like, oh okay, wasn't expecting this. So I checked out her YouTube channel just to see what's going on, and I checked her and I saw that she's done quite a few speed build videos along with some creator sim challenges. I'm like, oh okay, yeah, sure, I'm quite happy to do a collab with you, and I will link her channel in the description box below if you would like to check her channel out and just say hey and howdy and all that jazz and see how you're doing. And so she suggested that we could do a family home. I was quite happy to do a family home. I then asked her is there any styles that she feel more comfortable when doing. She said no, I'm quite happy with whatever you want to do. I was like, oh okay, that's quite good. So I then asked her, is there any packs that you don't own so I don't use them, and she then sent me a list of packs that she owns. So I was like, oh, okay, with the list that she has given me, I can quite happily go for a modern family home, which I didn't really particularly want to do just because I'm not very good at building modern homes. So I was like, yeah, let's not do that, shall we? And I also then looked at her list once again and noticed I could quite happily do a bit more traditional family home. So I was like, oh okay, let's do that, shall we? But I want to stay clear away from the suburban colonial traditional family home that you would see in American films or American TV. I wanted to stay away from that just because at the moment I'm not really feeling that. So I went onto Pinterest to find some pictures, get the light bulb moment happening, and I then stumbled across pictures of homes that were on stilts. It's like, ooh, this is interesting, isn't it? We have stilts in the game. I can do that. And these stilt homes were sort of surrounded by trees. I love trees. They were surrounded by water and sort of greenery and boots, and they sort of had terrain going on. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I then also discovered another picture. This time it wasn't on stilts from memory. It was actually a tower build with lots of decking, bridges, and sort of a modern extension to the side that was attached to it. So you have a bit more living quarters and areas to live in. It's like, oh, I quite like this as well. So I kind of built upon the base of the tower look and incorporated all the decking from the the stilts, and I included the bridges because I love bridges. I love building bridges in The Sims 4 just because they're so easy to make, and they're like, oh, what's that? I wonder what you done there, how you done that, and it's actually really easy to make. And so that's why I love incorporating bridges into my builds. They're slightly more sort of fiddly if you're doing a live edit object bridge, just because you have to get the right level. But with this one I was just doing your very simple plonk a box on top of a box, delete the box underneath and drag it down kind of bridge look, and I love them. They look great, and I actually really like the way it had turned out because it's slightly different. It's more interesting than your suburban colonial American home. Perhaps not your traditional family home. You will probably won't look at this and go, huh, that's the family home. But I want to do something different and fun for this collab. Normally when I do collabs with people, I'll probably do something interesting as well. Sometimes I'll put a diagonal section in there because that's fun to doodles. And yeah, I just like to do something fun when I'm doing shell builds or collabs. I just want to do something interesting and different, and so I actually came up with this. I'm actually very happy with it. I did have some problems with the we're trying to put like a second story on top of the ground floor. So we have like 2 levels. I don't know what was happening, because every time I was drawing the room, it wasn't automatically closing. So if you would draw out a box, or like, yeah, if you would draw out a box in The Sims, it would automatically enclose itself and just make it a room for itself. That wasn't happening for me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it was like on a diagonal section, and I know diagonals can be tricky in The Sims 4 because sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But yeah, I was having problems with it, and so I started to lay down like floor pieces to make the game recognize that it is one room. That didn't help me at all, so I just went, okay, let's just build a ceiling on top of this, shall we, and just do it myself. So yeah, I had problems with that. I'm not entirely sure what went wrong or why it was doing it, but yeah, that was a problem. I also had problem with the roofing, because part of the extension to the tower is on a diagonal roofing. We do have diagonal pieces, but it's still not easy to do. I mean, roofing in The Sims 4 is not easy to do. It's not backlight in The Sims 3 days where you can just go autocomplete roof, which is what I did every single time. It's like, because I didn't want to bother with the roof, but we don't have that in The Sims 4, and I would love that if we had that for this build, because it has so many problems with it. But I actually took inspiration from another collab video that I have done, and I actually quite like the look of that roofing. So I was trying to imitate and copy that kind of roofing where you got 2 bits of different roofing at 2 different heights, but you use one separate piece of roofing that's all like, I don't know what it is. I put it up on screen. It's like here I've got the roofing options open, so it's like, it's the third one. It was the third one, and so I use that one to connect the 2 separate pieces up, because that's what I did with the other collab build that I did. I'll pull it up so you can see what I'm talking about, and I quite like it, so I was trying to do that with this one. I did have to delete what I originally had with the extension just because roofing was not going well, and so I was like, okay, let's just make it slightly easier for myself roofing wise, okay? And so if I was going to do a jot out, I would make sure the jot out is on the other side, so it's like symmetrical, you know, so roofing will be easier. So I had to do that. So basically the extension to this house is based on roofing ease, so that was a problem. I also had another problem with the bridge. Not the bridge making itself, that was easy peasy to doodles. It was more to the fact that I wanted the bridge to look like it had supports. And you can make your columns taller now just by stretching them. Some of them don't want to do it. It probably looks weird if you did it, so that's probably why they didn't do it. But I was trying to put like columns at the front of the bridge so it looks like it was supported, and sometimes I could put a column where I wanted it, and so like a couple of seconds later it will just disappear, and so I tried to put it back and be like, no, you cannot do that. It's like, why can I not do that? I mean, a couple of seconds ago I could, now you're telling me I can't. Why? Also, I just remember this, I also had a really weird thing. It was at the very beginning whilst I was building this, I was trying to lift up this house so it had foundation, and it kept saying to me like blocks conflicted. It's like, what do you mean blocks conflicted? Normally that pops up when you're trying to attach a room that's on the ground floor, like not on foundation, and trying to connect it to a room that is on foundation. Normally that's what happens when that message pops up, and so I was trying to lift it up and it was going, blocks conflicted, you cannot do this. Like, what's block confliction? There's no other rooms on this lot. I'm not trying to attach anything, I'm just trying to lift it up. So I don't know why that message is popping up for me, because I'm not doing anything for it to pop up. You know, there's nothing attaching to it. There is no other thing to this. The extension wasn't even put on it at that moment in time, and it was saying block confliction. It's like, why? But to get over that, I just sort of like shimmied the roofing slightly further back, and it was like, it was fine after that. So that was weird. So yeah, not too many problems with this. As ever, I think terrain tools, I don't really use them in The Sims 3, but in The Sims 4 I've found that they're a lot more easier to use. So I did use them. So those two top kind of like what do you call them? Ponds. Those two top kind of ponds are just like ponds that are like trickling down into this pool, but this pool is sort of like acting as like a pond. I did try to use the fountain tool for this pool area, but it was saying no. I was like, okay. I mean, it kept popping up like, it should be 1 tile wide. It's like, it is 1 tile wide. What are you talking about? And so I was like, okay, let's just use a pool. And so just be careful if you would download this house, either the shell build that I've done or the completed version that Lexi4Games has done. I will put her gallery ID in the description box below because it's different to her YouTube name. And if you are downloading either version, the completed version or the uncompleted version, then just be warned, your Sims may want to hop into the pool pond area. I did fill out with rocks, and I did cover it with somewhat of like plants and greenery and stuff like that. But just be wary if your Sims might want to have a cheeky dip in the pond pool thing, because I tried with the fountain tools. Like, no, it's not 1 tile wide. I mean, it is a 1 tile wide. What are you talking about? So yeah, those two ponds next to the house is just like filtering down to the pool area. So I'll put some fountains in there, so it looks a bit like a waterfall. It's getting so confused. So it looks like a waterfall. Took me some time to do that, so I did it off screen, so you didn't have to watch that. So I was just putting this place has lots of little stairs in here, and so just putting down some stairs. This was also weird, actually. The more I talk about it, I think I had more problems than I realised with this build. So and with these stairs, as you can see, it says it can quite happily go there, but as you can see, no they can't, because when your Sims go up the stairs, they will stop because there's nothing for them to actually stand upon. It's like, huh? Why is this an okay green thing to do? And so I had some problems trying to make the upper bridge and those stairs to connect. I don't know what was going on. I think my game may be glitching out slightly, because I've been noticing a lot of problems actually with my game and doing weird and strange things. So yeah, I think my building, the game that I use for building, well, I just build everywhere, I think it may be glitching out all over the place, because I'm noticing more and more often I'm having those little red pop-ups saying, you can't do this. I mean, yeah, I can. I've been doing it. I've been doing it all the time, and now you say no. So yeah, I've been noticing that. So when I first built this, I wasn't too sure on the exterior like color scheme, because the tower and the sort of like what's it called? Oh, columns on house. What's it called? Oh no, I forgot it. Work brain, it's not working. But anyway, the pictures that I found on Instagram, they went for like sort of like black woody tones. I didn't particularly want to go for that. So I had sort of like problems trying to figure out a colour scheme. So I went off screen quickly just to see what colour scheme do I want to go for. And I found this one. It's sort of very creamy, kind of white, and I chose the Strangerville navy blue and white shutter windows. I've never used those windows in that colour swatch. I'm always using those windows, but not in that colour swatch, which is strange because my favourite colour is navy blue. So why have I never used those those shutters in that colour? And I thought to myself, okay, we have the navy blue window at the top, but no navy blue anywhere else. So I was like, okay, let's use the Strangerville fence just to see what it would look like, you know. And it's actually quite nice, so it all ties together. I think I changed the colour of those pond pool areas, so it's no longer the jungle adventure green. I do think I just turned them back into the generic base game pool colour. I don't think it suited it, but if it was the house on, what's it called, with legs, if it was the house with legs with like all the trees and greenery around it, I think that pool colour would go quite nicely with it. But it's not a house with legs, it's a house with a solid foundation, so I changed it just because it felt more right to change it. Layout. I did give Lexi4Gaming a layout. She does change it, which is absolutely fine, I don't mind, but I did give her a layout just because I've done these sort of collabs before where I given them a layout and they've had no problem, they've just sort of like gone with it. And so I was like, okay, I'm not too sure if she wants a layout, but I will give her a layout just in case, you know, just because some people don't like to do layouts, which I can perfectly understand, because with layouts there are stairs. And I hate stairs in the game. I hate placing stairs in the game. And so I thought, let's just do the layout just in case, because if she doesn't want it or she doesn't like it, she can just delete it, which is perfectly fine, because that is one of the reasons why I love doing collabs, especially if you're doing the exterior. Because yes, you're doing this as like together, but if you're doing the exterior and you have like no style set, then you're basically setting the tone and the feel for what the interior could possibly be. And during like collabs like this, you can sort of it's all like what's it called? It's like the like, oh, what are they gonna do with the interior? Oh, what are they gonna do? And so that's why I like doing these sort of collabs, because it's like, oh, what they're gonna do? Are they gonna go along with what you were thinking? But we all have different brains and eyeballs, and so we will see something completely different to somebody else. It's like, oh, what they're gonna do? And yeah. That's why I like doing collabs. I know that was a bit of a weird explanation, just because I couldn't think of the word I wanted. Right, so yeah. In saying that though, I would love to do these sort of collabs where it's half and half, but I will do the interior. I'm quite happy to do the exterior, but nice to see what it'd be like being like the other way round, you know, like, oh, what type of house they're gonna build. It'd be so exciting, you know, be the other way round. So yeah, I would love to do a collab where I do the interior and just to see how it is. But before that happens, I need to get rid of this interior block thing. This is just weird. So anyway, this build is coming to an end soon. So thank you for watching. Please go and check out Lexi4Gaming YouTube channel just to see what she's uploading. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it may contain. And thank you and goodbye.